2, 3, 4. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody.
Good afternoon. It is Tuesday, June the 2nd. I am Bruce Leonard, of course. Thank you for tuning in to another hour of Bruce Leonard Leans Left. While it's still legal. It's still legal today. I'd like to apologize for Saturday. I totally forgot that my cousin's son was graduating from high school. So I had to go to a family function, and I've neglected to tell you that. So I just wasn't here on Saturday, and I'm sorry. And today I'm on early because me and my father are going to the Reds game. And there's a lot happening. We missed a lot while we weren't here. Apparently there's trouble in paradise. Trump was on the phone with Benjamin Netanyahu, I suppose. And I'll just give you the slight rundown what they said. The phone call between Trump and Netanyahu. Two of the sources said that Trump claimed he'd help keep Netanyahu out of jail, a reference to his support during Netanyahu's corruption trial. Shocker there, right? Summarizing Trump's remarks to Netanyahu, the U.S. official said, "You're fucking crazy. You'd be in prison if it weren't for me. I'm saving your ass. Everybody hates you now. Everybody hates Israel because of this." A second source briefed on the call said Trump was pissed and at one point yelled at Netanyahu, "What the fuck are you doing?" Now, it reminds you of, you might not be old enough to remember this, but they used to have these quaint little films that they showed on television. They were called ABC After School Stories. And they were always like, little tales to caution you as a youth, like about peer pressure, about drugs and things like that. But this reminds me of, or how about this? Have you ever seen the movie Juice? If you're a little bit older than ABC After School Stories, you might remember the movie Juice, which was one of Tupac Shakur's first movies, but it was about a kid who befriended a guy, and he was like a gangster. Tupac was like a gangster. This guy wanted to be cool, so he like befriended him and was like hanging out with him. And then, of course, he got him into trouble. They like tried to rob a store and he killed a guy. And that's what Trump is in now. Trump always thought that he was one of these guys, but he's not one of these guys. He doesn't have the stomach for it, or the spine, or the balls. He is not a tough guy. He's a fake tough guy. Benjamin Netanyahu, real tough guy. Now, you might not like him. I don't like him, but he's a real tough guy. It's like he's been in war in the military for years and years and years. He's killed people with his bare hands, I can assure you. Just like Vladimir Putin. Or Z. Any of these real guys. Real world leaders. Trump is not a real world leader. Trump is a fake. Everything, he's a fake. Don't you get that by now? He's a used car salesman. He's a charlatan. He's selling you fake toughness. But he's not tough. And everything he does is show you that he's not. He backs off everything. He threatens. He never carries through on his threats. Ever. Except for the tariff thing. He actually did that. But I'm talking about like violent threats. Like he's going to do something. Like he's going to bomb the shit out of Iran. He's going to bomb them into existence. Like, no, he's not. It's hyperbole for the Twitter. And for his dumb fuck audience. That believe that he's a tough guy. He's not a tough guy. And now he's hooked to a real tough guy, Netanyahu, and he's like, I can't control this guy. He's like, you're fucking crazy. Don't you know we were just bluffing? Like, Netanyahu's not bluffing. Don't you get that? Netanyahu is deadly serious. And listening to him and getting sucked into this. Is more than he bargained for. See, Netanyahu wants him to annihilate Iran. And that's what he wants. But Trump doesn't want to do that. Because Trump, I said, Trump don't have the stomach for it. Trump is fake. He's a fake tough guy. I said he's not tough. The fact that anyone believed that he was ever tough. I don't know what that means, Christian. Here's another thing that happened. I don't know if you noticed that. Do you remember Michael Flynn? The general, Michael Flynn, right? He was convicted for being a foreign agent, not registering as a foreign agent. He was convicted and sent to prison, right? Well, Trump pardoned him and then settled with him, gave him $1 million. And what happened? As soon as the ink was dry on the $1 million settlement, he turned around and registered as a foreign agent. Which tells you what? He was always a foreign agent. It's like, he did that shit. He's a spy. He's a traitor. He's a fucking treasonous bastard. He should not be out of prison or not, definitely not pardoned. And it could have maybe been, like I said, get the death penalty for treason. That's the problem with this country, America. I said that before. This system is too weak to protect itself from people like this. These people are ruthless scumbags. And he also registered as a foreign agent for some Bosnian agency that's hooked to Vladimir Putin, which tells you what? Mega is an arm of Russia. Always has been. It's not a hoax. It's never been a hoax. If it's a hoax, why is there all these connections all the time to Russia? Because everything goes back to Vladimir Putin. And what happened just recently, right? Ukraine started winning the war in Russia. And what did Trump do? Cut off help to Ukraine. You think that's a fucking coincidence? If you do, you're fucking stupid. That's all I got to say about that. Like, fool me once, fool me twice. And the right wingers keep saying, "Oh, it was totally made up hoax." It's like, yeah, okay, but Flynn went to prison, Manafort went to prison. These are court cases. They were convicted by juries. And they can talk about judges all they want. This is a trial. You got convicted at trial. It's like, same as the January 6 people. They all got convicted by juries, or they pled guilty. It's not like, some random, what they call it, activist judges is going wild, far left judge. It's like, no, it's a jury of 12 people convicted this person, or the person pled guilty because they knew they were going to get convicted. And they still try to tell you it's a hoax. It's a gaslight. The whole mega is right. The whole right wing machine is a gaslight at all times. And like turn on the Fox now, they Larry Kudlow and these guys are saying now, well, you should be happy to pay more to get rid of Iran. Like, are we getting rid of Iran? No, we're not. It's all lies and bullshit, gaslighting. It's like, Iran is stronger than they were before. You just juiced them up. Now you're giving them the Strait of Hormuz. Like they said, they don't even need nuclear weapons anymore. You fuck with Iran, they'll shut down the strait. But I don't think people realize, like, this strait got to get open. If it doesn't, I said, we're just beginning to feel like the overall effects. Like, we've been living off of the oil supplies that we have stocked, but those are running low. Gas going to get $6 a gallon. The fucking, I said, farmers ain't going to have no fertilizer. There's helium and all kinds of shit that they need to make computer chips that we can't get because the strait's closed. And Trump's is going to be like, he's not in a hurry. But now he's yelling at Netanyahu and shit like, I think he's in a hurry. This fucking prick, Kevin Hassett, is that his name? The smiling little troll that comes on Sundays to smile and tell you how great everything is. He said, and this is true. I swear to God, 100% true. They said people are, what's up, Blue Apollo? They said that people are fucking, yes, I was just talking about that, Blue Apollo. And then Trump was on the phone yelling at him, calling him fucking crazy. But apparently Trump announced that there's a ceasefire now between Lebanon and Israel, but we'll see how far that goes. He's going. He already went above that river that they've never gone over. He's in there. Like, 1 million people have been displaced. 1 million people. Thousands of people killed. 1 million people displaced. But no one's talking about that because they're always talking about United States versus Iran. But in USA versus Iran, not that many people have died. Meanwhile, over there, I said, Netanyahu's killing motherfuckers left and right. It's what I said when we were talking earlier, is that Netanyahu is a real tough guy. Trump is a fake tough guy. I guess, if you haven't seen that movie, Juice, watch it. This is the same scenario, only, like I said, Juice is like a black youth movie about about a kid, like I said, who's not really tough, who starts hanging out with the tough guy because he wants to feel like he's tough. And then the tough guy gets him into some shit. And that's what's going on here. Trump thought that he was one of these guys. Blue Pile says, yeah, there's the same phone calls Biden will release. It's just a headline. I bet Trump is practically begging the big Yahoo. Yeah, probably. Because I can't see that. Because Netanyahu would be like, shut the fuck up. Do you remember? Okay, this might be a better reference for you younger people. Remember The Dark Knight Rises? Right? Remember that little fucking Weasley guy that financed the whole operation? Right? He kept, Bane was like walking around talking about what he's going to do. And he's like, hey, wait a minute. We're not doing that. We're going to do this. And he's like, I'm in charge here. And Bane grabs him and puts him on the wall. He's like, oh, do you feel like you're in charge? Like that's what Trump is now. Netanyahu's like, well, you're in it now. And if he doesn't back off, Iran's not going along with anything. So Trump really, like I said before, Trump has less cards than I told you he had none. Trump is fucked on all sides. And now he's losing here too. But since I was on, yes, Blue Apollo Bait is the GOAT. But do you remember that? Like I said, that's what Netanyahu is doing to Trump right now. Like, oh, you think you're in charge? Netanyahu's like, I'll fucking choke you right now with my one hand and gouge your eyes out with my other. What are you going to do about it? Donald Trump, he ain't going to do shit. Same as Putin or any of these guys. And I fucking kill you with my bare hands. Trump hasn't ever killed no one with his fucking bare hands. Trump is a pussy. Like I said, fake tough guy. Carnival Barker. You ever notice, whenever he acts all tough and he's always got his fucking chest out and he's always walking around. And then when he gets in the room with these other dudes like Z or Putin, he's always sitting down and his shoulders are shrugged, because he knows he ain't on the level of these dudes. That's why I can't believe that people fell for this and vote for this guy. It's like he is not equipped with the necessary fortitude to really do some shit. And he's fucking stupid. That's like a double whammy. It's like, how you been, Blue Apollo? Thanks for coming back around. I'm sorry I wasn't here Saturday. Like I said, I had to go to my cousin's graduated high school. He's going to the fucking Marines. He's going to wind up over there if fucking he isn't careful. Whatever. Like I said, I just don't get the mentality. I don't understand why you would let your, I guess they're for it, but I'm like, I don't know why you would let your kid join the military at a time like this. The people that are running the military are not qualified to be running the military. They're going to get people killed for sheer incompetence. Like those 13 people that died, they didn't have to die. They died because Pete Hegseth didn't warn them. And Hegseth left them out there vulnerable on those bases that they're going to shoot at. Blue Power says all their peace talk over the last year and a half have been shut down from our side. It's crazy, right? Well, Trump won't shut up for 5 seconds. He's tweeting nonstop every day, every night. And every day and every night, he fucking says different shit. You can't have a negotiation like that. That's what I don't understand. Like I said, the whole thing is crazy to me. Like, take his phone away. Shut off the True Social. It's not making money anyway. It only exists so that he can manically tweet. It's like, it said that it lost $25 million. I can't even remember what it was. They didn't make any money. You lost shitloads of money, but they still got it there. Why? So that he could tweet his shit out. And I don't understand how everyone in the world is reading this truth, but it ain't not making money. Only Trump can figure out a way to go viral on the internet and make nothing from it. Blue Power says he's posting his plans to the world. Meanwhile, we have no idea what Iran is saying, yet we know they're winning. Paradoxical. No, we know what they're saying. They respond all the time, and they say whatever he just said on True Social is bullshit. And I've said that before on this show. It is, the world is in a bad spot when you think you could trust the Iranians more than this guy. And Trump has proved over and over and over that he's a fucking liar. How many times has he said a bunch of shit that none of it happens? And they tell you, oh, everything's great. Oil's going to drop. When this is all over, well, when is it over? They don't know. It's stuck. Like I said, he's seen a rock in a hard place. Because I said Netanyahu's deadly serious, and he's not. He really thought. He bought into. I personally, if you ask me, Netanyahu knew, I think, there was a good chance that just dropping bombs and blowing up the fucking head of the regime or whatever wasn't going to work. It was a pretty shitty plan to begin with, and they're asking those people with no weapons or anything to go out in the street and take back over their government. It's like, that's not going to fucking happen. Last time they were out there, they shot 3,000 people and no one did or said a fucking thing. Remember, Trump said that he had their back. And then they went out there and got themselves killed, and he didn't fucking help them. Next thing you know, he's bombing the shit out of them. Blue Power says it's crazy. Talking to my boomer grandparents, they love Trump and Marco Rubio and are total plan trusters for this war. They're Islamophobes and think there's a Muslim takeover. Yes! Well, that's a whole other thing that's going on in the right wing. It's a whole giant push to make Muslims the enemy, of everything. Blue Power says they fail to realize that there's an Israeli takeover. They fly an Israeli flag. Yeah, there's a goddamn. I'm going to the ball game with my dad, Julia. So I have to be done at 5 because they're coming here. There's a bill. Do you see this, Blue Apollo? There's an actual bill. They're trying to combine the Israeli and the American military together. No, I don't think this will happen, but they're trying to. You got to understand, these Christian nationalists are insane. They're fucking crazy. They believe in the Temple Mount and the second coming and the the rapture, and whatever else fucking crazy shit that you could imagine. That's what they believe. They believe that as white Christians that they have the Lord's. Will Powell says, yes, I saw it a day or two ago. Yes. They killed his fun. Did you see that? See, this is the other thing that he don't get. Is it now there's a now there's a cadre of rogue senators in the Senate that Trump is either primaried out of their seats or he fucked them over somehow, and now they're like, fuck you. They ain't got nothing to lose. And in the House, you got Massey and these dudes, Nancy Mace. Blue Apollo says, it's like high schools combining enemy schools for sports. Yeah. Yeah. No, it just tells you what everybody already knows, which is, like I said, Israel is an arm of the United States, or the United States is an arm of Israel. You know, if you look at the situation, you're like, how is it that they could be in control? Because they rely on us for their money. They rely on us for their weapons, you know. Now, I've read a lot of things that said that they've started building their own shit so that they can be self-sufficient, because I think they know that sooner or later the political pressure is going to become too great in the United States and they're going to get cut off their fucking welfare. Blue Power says, our school and our rivals in the town merged over sports. We hate them. Yes, but it just tells you what's always been said. Like, that's what I mean. Is like Iran used to say, America's a great Satan, you know, or whatever. And that's what they would tell their people. Well, what do you think we look like to them? I mean, we have done nothing but make their whatever they say about us like appear to be true. And that's what I mean about, you know, the world's in a fucked up place when you can trust the Iranians more than you can trust the president of the United States. The truth is, the president of the United States doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He's in way over his fucking head, and he knows it. Why do you think he's puffing up and turning blue? And it's like getting fat cankles and like the stress of this situation. Julia says they get free healthcare, free cheap education, etc. because we're paying for it. Never understand how the fuck we ended up being a cash out. Yeah, well, because we set up the country. You know, that's why. Blue Plow says, dude, they have Jewish laser beams. They have nukes and they have Big Brother, the big Satan there on the track to cutting ties with all the land and sea trade routes in the Middle East. Yeah? You think? I don't know about that. Where are they going? See, that's what people don't get. Is the Strait of Hormuz is vital to world commerce. Always has been. And the fact that Trump didn't consider that they might fucking close it down. This guy was on TV just now, right before I came down here, this retired general. And he was like, the retired general was like, she was asking him, well, don't you think, like, what if later on someone pisses them off, you know, they could just fire on a ship or something and just shut the strait down again, don't you think? And he was like, yeah. And she was like, well, I'm sorry, I'm just playing out scenarios of what could happen. And he goes, yeah, that's what should happen before you go to war. Which is obviously not what happened. Well, that's not true, because this scenario has been gamed out over generations. At least 25, 30 years they've gamed out. Like, what would happen if we went to war with Iran? And closing the Strait of Hormuz has always been part of that. So they told him, he just didn't listen. Blue Apollo says they will own everything there and no one will stop them. We can't even stop them right now. Blue Apollo says, I mean cutting ties, because they will own it all, not cutting ties with the roots. Yeah, well, you know, I don't think that's true because at a certain point, they're going to cause World War III. If they keep going the way they're going. They seem to want that. Like I said, what you don't get is these religious fanatics, Armageddon is part of their thing. Some of them actually want it because then they believe that will force the second coming of Jesus. I know it sounds insane to say it out loud. When you put it into words, you go, hey, man, that sounds insane. Yes, but that's what they truly believe. These hardcore fucking religious fanatics. That's what they believe. This guy was fucking quoting, posting scripture quotes in the comments of Facebook. And I'm thinking to myself, these are fucking almost 3,000 years old. I have just as much right, and it's just as much believable that if I was like, I'm going back to the Greek, there's Mount Olympus and the 12 gods. Zeus is coming down here. Ken says we're approaching the final episode of this bullshit mess. Yeah, maybe. Julia said, that's what I mean. Once they were set up, we should have cut off funds, let them take care of themselves. But an ally in the region means big oil can take advantage. Yeah, exactly. They needed them there so they could threaten the other countries. And hey, Jimmy, you're back. Thank you so much for not leaving. I'm sorry about that fucking dude. I said and I looked up. You haven't been here. I looked up what he was talking about, and it's complete bullshit. Of course, it's complete bullshit. But there is a story of it. Yeah, but it's not true. I mean, I should say I found some threads of what he was saying, and it's like, no. First of all, no one could know that the Eddie corpse from 5,000 years ago is definitely this person you're talking about. Blue Apollo says, oh, I know that they want to rebuild the third temple and bring the Antichrist. Blue Apollo says they don't believe Jesus is the Messiah. Well, that's the Israelis don't, but the fucking fanatics here do. That's where the wires get crossed. We're like, how is this happening? Because they don't believe the same thing. It's close, but not, right? Blue Pile says, I hope there's world peace, but beggars can't be choosers, right? I don't think that that's going to happen anytime soon. Trump, like I said, Trump's in a bad spot. He's in way over his head. He's like a guy who swam out too far in the Pacific and he's caught in the riptide. He thought it would be so easy to swim out there and just swim right back, but it's not working out for him. It's like he's if it's true that he's yelling and screaming, like I said, I would like to see Netanyahu at the other end of the phone. Do you think he's like intimidated by Trump yelling and screaming at him? He's just sitting there. I said, and after it was over, he probably was like, shut the fuck up. But they didn't put that part in the story. You notice they didn't talk about what Netanyahu said. They only said what Trump said. Netanyahu probably told him to shut the fuck up and stick it up his ass. He's in this now, whether he wants to be or not. Jimmy says everything in Ethiopia needs to stay there. Go build your empty building. And Christ is a Roman word that does not exist in the Hebrew language. Yeah. Well, I know that they don't believe that Jesus is the Son of God. I don't either. So that's one thing we have in common. Most definitely. Like I said, you have just as much right, and it's just as believable to say, like I said, that you're going back to Mount Olympus and the fucking Greek gods. I mean, like, that's about as much evidence for both. It's like, If you're reading a book from 3,000 years ago and you still think that you got to listen to this word for word, it's like, dude, look around you, man. The world has changed, and God's not here to save anybody. Look at all the horrible shit happens in this world. That's what kills me too about religious people. They sit and they pray like. I mean, it's. I understand all the reasons why people do it. You know, if it, like I said before, if it helps you get through your life, that's good. That's cool. But when you really think about it, like your kid gets a cancer or something, right? And you're like, I'm gonna pray for my child to have a, it's got a cancer. And you're praying and you're looking at all this horrible shit that's going on in the world. And you're like, God's going to turn away from all that to help save your kid because you because you asked. And if your kid gets saved, it doesn't mean that God did it. Now, if the prayer and everything makes you feel better and helps you, then that's something. But there is no God guiding over this shit. And if there is, he's a horrible fucking piece of shit. Look at all the suffering in this world. Jimmy says, yeah, I'm a Jew. I don't believe in no human God. Blue Apollo says, Netanyahu could technically be arrested in 125 countries. I thought we didn't negotiate with terrorists, more like a war criminal. Yes. Well, I've said that on this show before. Like, international law, war criminal, that means nothing. All these guys are war criminals. Putin just bombed an apartment building last night filled with innocent Ukrainian citizens. Oh, this is a war. It's like, that's not a war. That's murder. A war is when you put the armies on the fucking field and you fight. But see, he ain't winning that part. So he thinks, he just kill enough Ukrainian citizens that they'll get sick of fighting. Julia says Trump is bored with the war, just like being bored with the Kennedy Center. He's the most prolific destroyer of everything he touches. Goddamn pathetic piece of shit. Blue Apollo says same that we even bargain, let alone help them as much as we do, right? Jimmy says if you study the Hebrew Torah, we're the same dumb people doing the same dumb shit we was doing 4,000 years ago. Yes. Yes. And I saw a thing today. This is true. It said if you spend 10 minutes with an AI, then it could do permanent damage to your 10 minutes of AI use impairs your ability to problem solve without it. Now think about the implications of that. These people are going to give their children this AI. It's a digital lobotomy. These kids in this generation now, they won't know how to think, solve problems without their fucking computers to tell them what to do. This world is headed for bad places. They're building these AI centers all over the goddamn place. What do you think that's all about? I was reading, or this guy was saying today, he was like, they're building way more data centers than they really need for like commercial use and shit. And you're like, so what are they doing? And you're like, dude, this to run the AI surveillance state that they're going to put in. Run all these facial recognition computers everywhere you go. They already have license plate readers, things like that. You hook the AIs to them and they could start fucking collating and filing. They tell you where you've been all day. Blue Apollo says, I've been using AI for my caption on my Instagram account, but it's all information I know, but it helps me make a summary. Yes, but it's part of writing is exercising your brain, Blue Apollo. Don't you get that? And if you let these machines do all the thinking for you, your brain, just like your muscles, will atrophy. Blue Apollo says a lot of people just use it to answer questions instead of doing the research. Yes, exactly. Jimmy says, okay, Christians look at King Solomon like he was a great man. Jews look at King Solomon like he would send you to the front lines so he could snook your wife. Yes. Well, all of those Bible characters were like that. I was talking about Abraham that one day. Abraham fucked everybody. He begat a lot of people. Julia says, I absolutely refuse to even look at an AI app or program. I want nothing to do with it. Yeah, exactly. Jimmy says, what's funny is King Solomon would make Benjamin Netanyahu look like a 13-year-old little girl. Yeah, those dudes back then, they were fucking hardcore. They were the kind of guys that'd be like, crucify 5 miles of dudes on the side of the road so people know not to fuck around. Or that's what the Romans did to the slave revolts. They crucified Danielle has a good episode about it, but they crucified people for like 10 miles coming into Rome. There's dead bodies on the nailed to crosses, hanging for 10 miles, just so people knew. I said not to fuck around, like that. Those dudes back then, they didn't fuck around. Vlad the Impaler. Blue Paul says, I'm super literate. My punctuation is a little ill, but for the most part, I'm a good reader and writer. The AI just helps me not spend 30 minutes and cut it down to 10. Sure, but it's still a lazy shortcut. And over time, like I said, your brain will get used to not thinking. I think it's bad. Jimmy says, Christians practice selective history. Yes, most definitely. Especially the mega. Like, they want to erase all the history. It's like, slavery wasn't so bad. They learned skills. It's like, what do you mean? We can't talk about that. What do you mean? Why people built this country? Like, did they? White people built the railroad. No, they didn't. It was Chinese people. White people created a great economy in the South. Yes, with slave labor, free labor. Like, I could fucking make it. I could make $1 million. You give me 100 guys who work for free. It's fucking unbelievable. It's like, and then I've been saying this for a while now, but I saw Tim Dillon yesterday, and he was making good points. But it's like, dude, it's so hollow coming out of your fucking mouth. And you're like, he's like, oh, Trump is fake. He's not good. This is bad. You're like, dude, you helped to get him elected. You fucking bought into it. You can't act like now, like, oh, you saw all this coming. Like, you didn't see this coming. You fucking fell for it, like Rogan. Same shit. Tomorrow, this is crazy. It's like, yeah, but we told you it was going to be crazy. You didn't listen. The Democrats boring as shit? Yeah, they are. Would you rather have that than this? Like, those guys don't come on here anymore. They're like, the Kamala, vote for Kamala. It's like, do you think it would be like this if Kamala Harris was president? They would have just kept doing the same shit they was doing, quietly digging us out of the inflation hole, and doing boring shit. Not standing up to Netanyahu and letting him do whatever he was doing, which is bad, but at least we ain't helping him. We wouldn't be fighting in Iran, tell you that much. None of this would the Strait of Hormuz be open. Like, it's... People still act like, oh! Blue Power says, I'm kind of offended. That sounds anti-Christianic. What? You don't believe what he said? Blue Power? Christians do practice selective history. Especially American Christians. They act like everything's great, Like I said, there's nothing wrong with... For instance, Christopher Columbus, right? Even Christopher Columbus, even the Spanish were like, damn, Christopher Columbus, you went too far. And they fucking... When he went back to Spain, they're like, what the fuck, dude? You didn't have to kill everybody. And we still try to pretend like, oh, it was great. It's like even they didn't think it was great. It's not great. And now the whole Southern history is like bullshit. Jimmy says, I don't care. I live in America. Freedom of religion, freedom of speech. Yes, exactly. Yes, Blue. It doesn't translate over text. That's why you got to put a fucking laugh emoji on it or something if you want people to know you're joking. Julia says, my biggest issue with AI is the ease with which government can surveil us now. Yes, man, that's what I'm saying. That's why Peter Thiel moved to Argentina. Have you seen that? Like, oh, we've we've reached the Nazis running to Argentina stage earlier than I thought. He bought his way into the government, put J.D. Vance into the government, set up the surveillance state and Palantir and shit, and then fucking, like I said, he's bugged out. Jimmy says, I'm a Jew. Israel's history has nothing to do with Christians. It's the history of the Hebrew people, right? Exactly. But then they were scattered about. This creates the problem that fucking jerk-off dude was talking about. I don't even think it's that. I think it's like a built-in sickness in the world. Jimmy says it would be like listening to an American talk about American history before the Pilgrims landed, as if it was English history. Yes, exactly. Right. Like that's the history of Native Americans, which ends with us arriving here and fucking subjugating them, basically. It's a sad story. But yes, what happened before we got here is their history, not ours. And like I'm interested in it, but I've never for one time thought, it's about that story is about cultures colliding, clashing, and there's some Christian shit right there, right? They're savages. Hey man, we just worship the earth and the sun and the moon. Savages. It's like, they go, look at what they do while they're like putting people on a post, setting people on fire. They got gigantic warehouse of torture devices, and they're calling them savages. That's what I always thought was fucking hilarious. Such hypocrisy. That's what they talk about. The white people, this white supremacists now, they talk about Western civilization. Like that's the code word they use now for white supremacy. Western civilization. That's all. J.D. Vance, some clip at the CPAC, and J.D. Vance was like, we could never rebuild Western civilization like it had collapsed somehow. I was like, what? Did it collapse when I wasn't looking? It's like, no, that's just code word for get out as many brown people as we can. He fucking cleanse this country. That's what they want to do. Blue Power says there have always been a surveillance state. It's just a rapid growth of it that's crazy. They couldn't cipher through everything before, but now these AI data analytics companies can process mass data and translate it into usable information. Yes, exactly. Julie says, did you see the interview with Ivanka talking about her new private island in the Caribbean? No, I did not. Don't you think it's a good idea to get a private island after all this shit that's going on? That's what I mean. It always comes back to the same shit. Jimmy says the United States is 250 years old. There was approximately 800 years between Moshe and the Roman invasion in Israel. Yeah, exactly. That's why I was laughing about, like I said, Trump sitting there with Z. Like, dude, the Chinese have been a civilization, a together civilization, an actual country with the government for thousands of years. We're like a toddler to them, you think they give two fucks about us? Like they're thinking long term. Trump is thinking about oh, look at this. Don't I look cool? We got a lot of Panda Express. And they're like, what a fucking idiot. They just wait us out. Like they've already surpassed us in lots of ways. Like the United States was once the center of the world, but that's not so much the case anymore. Especially now that Trump cut all ties with everybody, everybody's going to China. Like I said, they're going to take that spot. We're going to be second fiddle. No, I don't really care and never really have cared about being a superpower. That's what makes mega losers feel powerful themselves. All these people that are like, yeah, the war, they get all excited about a war. Yeah, they're on Facebook and shit like, we need to turn the place into glass. Like, nuke them all. And you're like, because they're fucking losers. And that makes them feel strong. They're like, I'm an American. Look at how tough we are. They watch war porn on TV, Blue Apollo says, did you see the AI pictures of Trump and his boys with Z and wife beaters at hibachi and shit? No, but yesterday, Greg Abbott posted this picture. It's like an AI picture of him in his wheelchair, dunking in a Spurs jersey, dunking the basketball over top of the governor of New York with the Knicks jersey on, that chick, Hochul or whatever her name is, and then with Trump on the sideline like that. And you're like, these are our leaders. They're like fucking children. This country is ran by immature little fucking jerk-offs. Gary says, when I was in high school, they used to teach that Rome fell because of depravity. And now the Christian right is okay with violence on the White House lawn. Yeah. Well, Christians have never shied away from violence. That's the number one method of conversion. I mean, maybe not now, but throughout history. This is the number one way that they've converted people. That's why they came over here. Why do you think there's so many Mexican Catholics? They're like, oh, you want to be Catholic? Nope. They fucking... Did they go, next person, you want to be Catholic? And they go, I'm not sure. They fucking kill them too. And then the third person goes, you want to be Catholic? Fuck yeah. And my whole family. And everybody else in this line, they all want to be Catholics too. As a matter of fact, give me that Guadalupe thing you put on your wagon. Because like I said, it's the number one method of conversion for Christians all throughout history. That's why Inquisitions and shit. Do you believe in Jesus enough? If you don't, the rack. That's why I think it's hilarious when they act like Western civilization was so fucking... Well, Blue Apollo, that's not what I'm saying. There's plenty of... That's what I was saying before. Is you can't paint broad brushes on people because there are Christians who are nice and cool. There are Christians that believe. Tallarico is one of those guys, and they're fucking attacking the shit out of him. Have you seen that? All he does is say, Jesus said we should love everybody, treat everybody good. They're like, he's a communist. Maybe we shouldn't attack trans people. He's all about trans. Blue Apollo says Nick Fuentes is a Mexican Catholic and he gets so much shit for it. Yeah. That's how they were converted. He doesn't seem like a dumb guy. And I said, he knows this. And, that's what I was saying. Is that they act like Western civilization is so sophisticated and not barbaric. And you're like, dude, it's fucking barbaric. The whole fucking thing. Torture houses, racks, Iron Maidens. It's like, I'm not talking about the band. You know what Iron Maiden is? Blue Apollo. I mean, Iron Maiden is obviously one of the greatest metal bands of all time. But do you know what they're named for? It's a torture device that they use in places like the Tower of London. It's a fucking like a metal thing. It's like looks like a body, like a person. It has spikes inside. It opens up. They put the person in, then they slowly crank it closed until you're impaled all over your body. But they do it real slow so you don't die real quick because they want you to suffer. Because they're Christians. And that's what I mean. It's like the whole thing is fucking ridiculous. That's a gaslight too. You're like Western civilization was all we did was conquer and kill. We created a whole network of fucking enslavement for 250 years. Oh, the name of the good Christians. The Ku Klux Klan is a Christian organization. They got, I don't know, you've seen all them old pictures. Yes, Julia, the sarcophagus with spikes inside. Like I said, that they slowly closed. But they had all kinds of things. Things that bake you to death. They got the rack, like I said, all kinds of ways to torture you. There was a guy, apparently back then, there was a guy, his only job was to sit around and invent horrendous, torturous tools. It's like a vice for your balls. There's all kinds of weird shit. Have you ever been to the Tower of London or seen the collection of the stuff? These are Christians. Blue Power says, my friend's dad used to be the head of touring for big bands. He drove the trucks. He toured for them a couple times. Oh, Iron Maiden? Yeah. Blue Power says, my friend got to eat dinner with Aerosmith at 8 years old. That's cool. Yes, Julia, finger cuffs, all kinds of shit. Sick shit. For the Inquisition and all that shit. There was a master of torture. He was a torture master. That was his job. For hundreds of years, this is how people were. And they act like Western civilization, the height of culture. You be fucking kidding me. Now, did we come up with some other stuff? Yeah. You know, they did. They invented cool things, but I said, don't pretend like it wasn't barbaric. It wasn't fucking, like I said, just as fucking savage as anything else. And that's what the white supremacists try to hide behind, this fake, like Jimmy was saying, this fake history. Yeah, the stockades. They even put you out in the middle of the courtyard. So, it's like, rumor is that Julia was slutting around with some guy. And they're like, really? They drag you into the middle of the courtyard. They put you in the stockade. And then everybody in town could come by and like throw shit at you, spit on you. That's what they did to people. This is Western civilization. That's the height of sophistication. Or call you a witch and fucking tie you to a stake and set you on fire. It's like because, you know, they're sophisticated. This is the height of civilization. You're like, are you fucking kidding me? They had to be forced to give up slavery. Forced. At gunpoint. In a war. 200 years ago. Less than 200. Well, you're around 200 years ago. It's not very far. And maybe it's not even another 150. Blue Apollo says, I didn't hear if you said it already, but the Victorian era torture was insane. Yeah, no, that's what I'm talking about. There was a guy with the title, Torture Master. You are sentenced to see the Torture Master at the Tower of London. Yeah, but if you see all those tools, somebody was inventing this shit. Horrible ways to make you feel pain. It's a job. I was like, nah, I was horrified. Yeah, I saw the tower. That's what I'm saying. I saw the Tower of London exhibition at the museum when I was about 9 or 10, about the same age. My grandfather took me. And yeah, you're like, holy shit. Then you start reading into it. You're like, whoa. But Elon Musk and these guys, J.D. Vance, go, oh, Western civilization is the height of civilization. Yes, Ken, she turned me into a nude, but I got better. Julia says those iron balls with spikes on a chain. Yes, mace. The rack, just the rack. That's fucking barbaric. Just tie your hands and your fucking wrists and start cranking slowly until they fucking slowly disjoint all of your joints. Snap all your ligaments. And then there's people that they said there are stories of people who they put on the rack and did all these things and they still didn't break. They wouldn't confess to bullshit that they didn't do. They just kept fucking torturing them until they fucking died. But I said, you gotta admire the fucking spirit. The guy just keeps going, fuck you! Say it! No! But I didn't do it. You know how many people confess to things they didn't fucking do? Danielle had this episode. He was talking about this guy that they back in the fucking way back, like 500 or some shit, and in Germany they said he was a werewolf, right? And they tortured him, and he confessed that he was a werewolf. Yes, I'm a werewolf. I killed all those people. You know he wasn't a fucking werewolf. But I said he put the cock and ball thing like he just says Blue Apollo. No, but that was the point, that you didn't die. I think the Vikings did that thing called the Blood Eagle or whatever, right? Where they like cut your back open and they pull out your lungs and all this fucking shit. Or maybe they cut you up the front. But they did it in a way that you wouldn't die real fast. They wanted you to suffer. They wanted you to feel that. Because like I said, human beings are brutal. White Europeans are not fucking... They were not fucking benevolent by any means. As a matter of fact, like I said, driven by the idea that God had chose them to be in charge of shit. And that they were better than other people. And other people deserved to be subjugated by them. Because that's how God wanted it. And then now, like I said, they want to talk like, oh, that was the height of... that was the height of sophistication. Like, no, it was not. Let's say... Again, like Jimmy said, fake history. It's easy to change history if you're in charge of everything. And that's what they fear the most. That's what MAGA and the right wing is all about. They fear losing that control over the world that they've always had. Right? Losing the white privilege that they contend doesn't exist. That's why Eggseth is wiping off all the people of color and women from being able to be promoted in the military. Because they believe the white male should rule the world. Why? Because that's how God wants it. That's how they interpret the Bible. Now, I'm just telling you how they interpret it. I'm not telling you that it's bullshit. Blue Apollo says the Vikings were insane. There's a great anime called Finland Saga, and the kid grow up pillaging and slaughtering villages and changes for the better. Yeah, exactly. Yes, they really did. They did. But that's what religion does to you. You get a kid, he's real young, his head's soft. You tell him all these things. You tell him, if you do all these things, you'll get to heaven or Valhalla or whatever. And they go, okay. And then they're in. They'll do anything. Yeah, I said. Julia says, even a man who's pure of heart and says his prayers by night may become a wolf when the wolfbane blooms and the autumn moon is bright. Yes, exactly. I think that's from the original, isn't it? That's from the Lon Chaney Jr. Wolfman. The 1950s version. Anyway, I gotta get out of here because I'm going to the Reds game with my father. Listen, I'm sorry that I forgot to tell you about Saturday. And I will be back Thursday at 6 o'clock. And again, if you just stumbled on this show today, I am Bruce Leonard. I am here every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, United States. You want to send me a private message, email. It's Bruce Leonard Leans Left at yahoo.com. It's not Yahoo. What am I talking about? You said yup, and I saw the Y, and it was like, it's Bruce Leonard Leans Left at outlook.com. Again, I'm here Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. You too, Blue Apollo. I said I'm going to the Reds game with my father. I said I'm here every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, United States. I'll be back on Thursday. We'll see what happens. I'm sure the war will still be going on. But I love you guys. Thanks for watching. I'll be back Thursday. Good night.
If there was something new to see, I guarantee I'd be the first to be standing there bathing that light. Until that day I'll keep my eyes shut tight. I do not want to pick a fight. I feel more at